what's next? And, you know, that was their big question, like, what's next? And it's a great question. I have that question a lot, right? So I've thought about this a lot, especially when you first get sober or you first start recovery of any kind. It's like, okay, I'm doing this, things are getting better. Like, I don't have this huge drama, especially when you're dealing with any kind of alcoholic addict. Once you start learning how to function around the illness without being sucked into it, there's a sense of calm that almost feels like boredom. Like, okay, what's next? And, you know, it really taps into something else that I'm really into, which is this idea about our thinking. You know, what is next? Well, really, there's nothing next. It's all right now. You know, everything is in this moment. And so I just keep doing the next indicated right thing. You know, that's what I was taught in recovery, was let's just do the next indicated right thing. And you won't be bored for long. I mean, the thing is that when you first get sober or you first start recovering from codependency or gambling or whatever it is that was kind of taking control of your life, once you start that, you kind of feel this sense of boredom. I think that's serenity. And I think there's a leap, a bridge that needs to be crossed from calamity to serenity. There's a little bit of a bridge, right? First thing, don't be bored. There's always something to do, right? So as you're waiting for the next indicated thing to do, enjoy it, because something's coming around the corner. Life happens. Stuff comes up and you'll be like, whoa, oh boy, this needs major attention, and this is what I'm going through next. So in the in-between, rest, enjoy it, you know, go for a run, take care of yourself, read a book, you know, go to more meetings, help people, you know, take up cooking, whatever, but something's coming, so don't worry about that. But really, I want to get back to this idea of the moment. So worrying about the future is something I am very good at. Like, I have spent a lot of time future tripping and a lot of times visioning what I want my life to be like. Like, this is what I want to be like. Well, time is running out. I'll just be honest, you know, fun game when you're young and you think, oh, someday. Well, there is no someday. It's right now. And it's really hard to get your mind around. If you really think about it, I mean, Albert Einstein talks about this. He refers to this concept that really time is what we've, you know, we are experiencing a linear time where we think there's a yesterday and a tomorrow, but everything happens at the same time is what his thought was. He dabbled in it, this thinking that everything happens in one time. And so our mind just experiences it in a linear, right? So think about that for a minute. So if I want to say, well, you know, let's use this for example, because I want to have more money. I want to be rich. Well, I am rich right now in Albert Einstein's theory. I'm already rich, right? It's already happened. I just need to act that way. I just need to be in that moment. You know, I've read a lot of Neville Goddard. If you've never read Neville Goddard, I suggest you do so. And he talks about this. Go ahead and just be the person you want to be. Act as if it's already happened, and it's already happened. So it's kind of a weird mind F. But I like it. I like not waiting. I don't want to wait for something to happen. Like I said, time is running out, right? And I want to go ahead and be the person I want to be. If whatever that is, I just want to be that now. I want to experience life as it's happening, not as I think it's going to happen or how it happened before. Today is today. Right now is right now. Right now is all there is. In a few minutes from now, when I turn this off, that'll be that moment, and that's all there is. If you can stay in the moment, it's really powerful. If you go ahead and just be what you want to be, live how you want to live, love how you want to love, right? A good example of that is I've always envisioned myself being this really great aunt to my brother's kids. I love these kids. And I've always envisioned that. And a couple years ago, when I first started this, watching Neville Goddard, you can get it on YouTube. Go on YouTube and listen to some of his talks. And there's a few others too. If you're interested, let me know. I'll send them to you. But this thought that, someday I would do this and I would do that and I would, and I thought, no, I need to do that. Need to go ahead and do that now. So I started writing to them. And kind of out of the blue, they were kind of like, oh my God, all of a sudden I got a letter from Aunt Karen, is she dying? And I started being interested in the things now. I started doing it now, right? What I always assumed would come later someday, when I had enough money, when I had a big home, when I could have them all for Christmas. And I started doing that. And what's funny is last Christmas, I hosted Christmas. And for my grandkids, my nephew, I'm very close with, I spent a lot of time with him when he was little. And he came and stayed with me. Now, this is after years of being separated from them. I live in California. They live far away. So it's like, oh, we're never going to see. Just someday I'm going to be this aunt and part of their lives. And I started acting like that was already the case. And even this last Christmas, I didn't go back to Montana. As most of you know, I stayed here in California. And he came here and spent Christmas with me. So it's like, there's no what's next. It's now. It's now. So if you're wondering what's next in your life, it's right in front of you. What's next is the next indicated thing. Just do the right next indicated thing. And everything unfolds. And then you live in this magical place of life unfolding. Anyway, I don't know why my lives can take on for so long. I'm sorry. I know that you probably get bored in the first 2 seconds, but I just want to answer that question. I wanted to say in the now is where it's at. You know what I mean? This is it. And you want to live in that space. And you want to be free of resentments and hate and all that shit, because it has nothing to do with anything. It's all made up in your head. It's got nothing to do in this moment, right? In your powers in this moment. And somebody told me once something very powerful. I have a difficult situation in my life that I deal with constantly. It's a constant thing. And it's heartbreaking and it's very difficult. And the only way I get through it is someone told me, you can handle anything in the moment. Like, I know you, Karen. And you might not think in the future if you start imagining all this stuff, but in the moment, you can handle anything. And I believe that's true of you. You can handle anything in the moment. Okay? So I love you all. And don't forget about my podcast. It comes out tomorrow. And New Courage to Change with Karen. Episode 6 already. And if you're not watching it, why? Why aren't you listening to my podcast? Why haven't you subscribed to it? Why haven't you? Answer me that.